Howdy, boys. You know, the other day over on the Reloaders Network, this outfit here, on the Slack channel, we were talking about inefficiency in throwing our powder charges. And I think the consensus of the conversation is everybody's complaining about they won't throw right on the money all the time. And then every now and then somebody will pipe in and say, oh, mine does just fine. You know, mine will do within a tenth. Or it's always on, just right on. Well, it's not that I think anybody's exaggerating, because I've seen in years past where the same powder measure, like say this Uniflow here, it's an RCBS, it's an old one from about 74 or 75. I've seen where that powder throw right there, people swear by that one, I swear by it for certain powders. But they'll say, oh, that Uniflow that thing won't throw within 4/10. And somebody will come along on the chat and say, well, I've seen that thing throw a tenth. I've seen it throw right on 95% of the time. 99.9% of the time, it's right on. Well, both people are probably telling the truth, but what we don't take time to consider is that every powder throw that's manufactured, and there's a few of them up there. See those up there? There's that one. There's a right here. You can't see it. There's a powder throw on the Progressive. Here's another powder throw. These two together, I just love the both of them for reasons you'll find out later. But because of the way they're made, their tolerances and how the parts fit together, the size of the metering hole that's in the drum, in this part right here. Here it is, you can see the end of the drum right here. There's a hole in that drum. Even the size of that hole makes a difference in what kind of powders that particular throw is going to throw well. Then there's a difference in how tight this hopper assembly fits to that drum. If there's a lot of slop in it and you can feel it moving around, you know that there's space between the drum and the housing. So that means you're going to get powder between the drum and the housing, and that's going to make it tight, hard to operate. Eventually enough powder will get in there that it'll start coming out the bottom edges of it here and be dripping on your table. Or if you're using one on a press, it'll drip out on top of your press, and people get real upset about that. They have a right to. Powder needs to stay in the hopper, and then from the hopper it needs to go in a brass case. So what I thought I'd do is a series of videos. I don't know how many, as many as it takes to get it done, and we'll talk about how a powder throw works, the different designs that we've seen over the years, the ones that seem to work better, and with which powders. We'll actually throw some powders, and I'll show you where this real smooth operating Uniflow here, I can show you where it'll go click, 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 and then the next throw it'll go zip, zip, and do a good job. But the type of powder that goes in it determines whether it's going to be a smooth operator or whether you're going to end up cutting grains or getting those grains in between the drum and the housing of the hopper. I mean, it all makes a difference. So you got to think about that. So in this series, we'll talk about the mechanics of the powder throw and all the different designs that I've got to show you. If there's a lot of interest in this and I get some feedback on the comments, I can address some of those in forthcoming videos. But there's really a lot to talk about when it comes to throwing a powder charge. And so that's pretty much the idea of this series. We're just going to start with the very next one here, and we'll go through the mechanics, talk about that for a while, try to keep these things short enough where I won't lose you guys, and we'll do however many we have to do to get all the questions answered. And I think we can do that. I think we can come real close to answering all your questions, and best of all, resolving all the problems that you're having, to where one of the fellows was loading a 9mm and he only had a 3 or 4/10 spread between min and max, and he's thinking, how can I throw these on a progressive or trust my powder throw to do it if I just put them in a tray and dip, 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 and fill them all in a tray and then load them on a single stage press? How can I trust a powder throw to throw when I've got a 3 or 4/10 of a grain between min and max charges in the reloading manual? Well, we'll figure out how to do that, because he may have to change powders. He may have to change powder throws. He may have to change his technique in operating the powder throw. So that's what we're going to talk about, and that's what's coming up. And leave me some comments as to things you want me to address. Hey, dogs are running into things. You guys go to the other side. All right, so that's the end of that. And that's what's coming up. All right, catch you later, boys.